So it's very true that you can work an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. You can work a little bit of time and make a couple dollars. It's very true that you can literally work your favorite spots, only take a couple rides, and you can cash out almost instantly. The problem comes when you start saying that, hey, I could work 3 hours and still make $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a week. The problem comes when it's like, yeah, I've been out here all day, but I'm not making any money. Because it's like, have you really been out there all day? 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hours is nothing. It's nothing in terms of what we do. It's nothing in terms of actually putting in the time. It's nothing in terms of actually seeing what your market is capable of. It's very true. You can go out there and do it at any given time you want. You can put an hour, hour and a half, and you might make some good money depending on the hour. You know, like let's say it's prime time, you could just walk into some good rides. It's very true. But it's also crazy to think that by you just doing a couple rides, you would actually understand your market. You can actually be a source to really you can really say, hey, I know what's capable in my market. I know what I could do every week based on 1 or 2 rides, based on just looking at the requests, based on, well, I watched the request and yeah, I know it's capable. $300 a day is impossible in my market. Yeah, it's not gonna happen. $200 a day is impossible in my market. It's crazy the amount of people that tell me, the amount of people that I get that tell me, hey bro, listen, I can't make $200 in my market. I can't even think about doing $200 in my market. And then it's like when you look at like how many hours they've worked in that entire week, they barely worked 10 hours. And this is Uber or Lyft, you know? This is the actual active time. Your app isn't even on for 10 hours. So it's like, but you really feel like you have a good representation when it's only been on for 10 hours or less? That's the crazy part. That's the crazy part. So I like to tell everybody this. When you start being an Uber driver, when you come out here and you make that switch and you like, hey, I want to enjoy the freedom. I want to be able to go any place that I want. Like right now, I am here. This is the Miccosukee station. You see I'm by a casino. Oh, the Miccosukee Service Plaza. You can't really see it, but that sign is the Miccosukee. It just says Miccosukee Service Plaza. But yeah, I am over here charging. And it's a little cold. That's why I got my headphones on. But yeah, listen, I mean, it's a little cold. I mean, I still don't got on a jacket. But you know, that's how we do, right? So when you make that transition from being an employee where you usually have to wear a uniform, which obviously I'm not wearing right now, you know, because I especially got a hat on, and you have a set schedule, and a set shift where it's like, no, you need to report to the office by, I mean, most people's schedules is like 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning, where for me, it's a little bit later than that. I mean, it's 8 in the evening. So for me, I have to make it back to the whatever location, I would have to make it back to whatever location my job is at. But instead, I'm here chilling. I'm actually, well, not chilling. I mean, I'm chilling because of the temperature, but like, I'm also chilling because I'm charging. Because I took a long ride. But that would almost be a nightmare if I was working a regular job, because it's like, no, I need to be asleep now, or I need to be getting ready at my house, taking a shower, getting myself ready to go to bed, especially if I got to be to work by 8. I mean, I'm still young, so I could I could definitely make it, but you start getting ready around this time, 8, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, you want to be in the house at least. But I'm over here in the Miccosukee Plaza. So I'm about 30 minutes away from Fort Lauderdale. So technically I'm fairly close. But I took that ride and I didn't have to rush back. I've been chilling, legitimately. I took a ride out to, where did I go? I went to Fort Myers today. And when I got up there, I was just chilling, honestly. I got to the area and just hung out. Hung out, by hung out I mean like I kind of sightseed, I rode around, I was looking at the area. So I tell everybody I am a tourist everywhere that I go. And by that, obviously, I know Fort Myers a little bit because, I mean, I've taken trips up there, but it's a little different, It's a little different, like, when you actually go to try to understand the area. So yeah, like I actually got out of the car, rode around, went to different places. Of course I had to get something to eat, that type of thing. But yeah, no, I definitely went there, cause I was like, yo, like I took the ride and I'm like, I made my money in this one ride, so I could kind of hang out. I could kind of take my time. And that's the thing about it, That's the thing about this. So, as you can see, I got, even though I took the ride, even though I hung out, I get to choose my schedule, which is the beneficial thing. Where if I was still at my job, it would be like, no, I'm still on the clock, I'm still on the timer. Like, hey, you need to come, you gotta make it back home by a certain time. You have a time limit. Hey, make sure that you're back by this particular point. I would have to set an alarm and stuff like that. Just because, when you're on the clock, you gotta abide by their rules. There is no stopping and taking pictures like you seen the lady behind me doing. There is no, what, chill over here and eat. Go inside the restaurant, kick your feet up. There's none of that because you're on the clock. And when you're on the clock, you got to make it back. But so things like that don't really happen when, my bad. So it's a little awkward, because you got people, everybody's kind of looking in your mouth, trying to see what you're talking about, that type of thing. So it's a little awkward, I'm not gonna lie. But it is different. And if you're wondering, that's just the casino sign. It was flashing. It was flashing as I was walking up. So just so that I don't have anybody else in my video. But as you can see, I'm at a tourist spot. This is a tourist attraction. So this isn't the normal parking lot that you guys see me at. I mean, it's technically still a parking lot, but obviously it's a service plaza. So it's a lot of people here. But this is just the benefit. So obviously I'm outside of my comfort zone because I'm close to Fort Lauderdale. I'm on I-75, but I'm not in my normal area, or my normal areas, I should say. But that's the beauty of working this job, this what we do. You can turn on the app anywhere. I could turn on the app here. I don't know if I would get a ping or anything, but I could turn on the app here. But that's so now that I done rambled and went all completely off topic, because I'm looking at all of these people. The whole point is that if you're gonna be an Uber driver, if you're gonna be a Lyft driver, you have to treat this like you would your job. Well, you don't have to, but if you want to make the big bucks, and especially with today's economy, especially with the way the rates are today, you gotta put in the hours. So I always recommend, if you're gonna be an Uber driver, if you're gonna come out on this side, you should at least put in 40 hours a week, which translates to 8 hours from Monday to Friday. Now, if you work the weekends, that's up to you. I know a lot of people that don't work the weekends. On the flip side, I know a lot of people that work the weekends but don't work the week. It's completely up to you, because you set your own schedule. But at least when you look at it in total and you kind of tally up the hours, when you think about the hours, you should, and I say should, you should be around about 40 hours a week, because that's realistically what it's going to take to actually make $1,000 a week. Now, again, if you're in California, if you're in New York, if you're in Massachusetts, these are all other markets that get paid a little bit better. You got to understand, I live in South Florida. So South Florida, obviously Miami, this is why my saying goes the way it does, but we are paid the worst out of every, from what I've heard, out of every other market. So to make the money here, you're going to have to put in hours. This ain't one of those markets. You got to put in the hours. And you got to be willing to put in at least 40. Realistically, 50, 60. And I know that can be scary. I know that can be like, I don't want to do that. But my only pushback to you is, okay, that's cool. I don't want to go into work. I don't want to wear a suit and tie, especially when I was at the bank. I didn't want to put on a suit and tie every day. You guys see how my beard done grown, how I let my hair grow out. I mean, I am going to cut my hair, but I didn't, when I was a server, having a beard like this as a server, I didn't want to cut my hair. I damn sure don't want to sit in that morning traffic trying to go to the office every day because I have to. There were times where I would be at work and I wanted to go home. Can't do that. So I understand that there's a lot of things that we don't want to do. But that's life. That's life. That's what happens, We only do this to make money, So you would do it for your job. Why not do it for yourself? But yeah, man, with that being said, man, it's kind of cold, it's kind of chilly, so I'm out of here. I done rambled enough. But yeah, man, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. As always, if you're not in the Telegram group, you should be. But yeah, deuces.